My neighborhood might look different from your neighborhood. I thought maybe it would be neat for me to show you how some of our buildings in my neighborhood have more than one house in them. So across the street there's somebody that lives in this part of the house with this garage, and there's somebody that lives in that part of the house with that garage. And the same thing is true over here. Part of that is somebody's house and part of that is somebody else's house. It's very interesting. And I don't know if you can hear any of the sounds in the neighborhood, but I can hear birds. Right now, I hear a plane because we are very close to the airport and you can watch the planes fly to the airport. And maybe we'll be able to tell at some point that we live very close to a big street. And you can often hear a lot of cars driving by. Or sometimes we live very close to the freeway and sometimes you can hear a lot of cars driving on the freeway too. You may not have mail that's down the street. We have to walk all the way down the street to get to our post box. You may not have to pull trash cans out to the street when trash day comes. You may have FedEx people delivering. There's a lot of things in your neighborhood. If you pay attention and you look around, you can see all sorts of things. Sometimes I see kids playing. Sometimes I see people walking dogs. There are all sorts of things that are happening in my neighborhood. And even if I just sat here and listened, I could hear birds, planes, cars. Most of the time we don't hear a train because the trains are a little farther away, but sometimes at night I hear a train. What kind of things are in your neighborhood? Think about that, and when you go on your walk, your scavenger hunt walk around the neighborhood, just pay attention to what you hear and what you see, to the kinds of things you have in your neighborhood that might be different from my neighborhood. Have a great day, neighbor.
Hey everybody. So Pastor Carla showed you what her street looks like with the houses. So I'm going to show you my street, which probably is more like where you guys live. So on my street we have a bunch of bungalows. Yeah, these are bungalows. There's mine. And there's a dog looking out the window at me. No, Owen is. And there's another house. That one's called a Georgian. That one's a ranch. There's a couple newer houses or houses that have additions on them. There's that yellow one there. There's a 2-flat. Some of the houses by me are frame houses. That means they're mostly wood. Most of them on my street are brick. But probably, you know, your street probably looks about the same. And like our mailboxes, like Pastor was saying, mailboxes are right there at the door by our homes. We have sidewalks so we can walk around our neighborhoods. You don't have to drive. Like some places, it's all driving. You can't really walk, or you have to walk in the street, and that's not so safe. And we have neighbors. Some neighbors have big yards, do lots of flowers. Some not really any. So we all have different areas we live in. There's one house down the street that's kind of fun by us. It looks like a little Mexican house, a little hacienda at the end of the block. But probably the houses by me look kind of like the houses by you. But for the people in our VBS stories, their houses are very different. Some of them live in places where the houses are built by people themselves instead of like we have builders building our houses. Some of them are built by the families out of the materials that are available. Some of them are built by people using whatever they can find, scraps of lumber or metal or anything, tarps, plastic, to make a house to put together. And it's just kind of cool. All different places in the world have different kinds of homes. But, you know, people live in them. Some are really big, some are really small. But we all figure it out. We all manage as best we can.